Bam! Here I am. I am your host, Rayceen Pendarvis. I am live. This is the pre-show at HRC. I'm sitting here also. If you don't know, I'm one of Washington, D.C.'s eligible singles. You can go to Washington Blade. I've been nominated. But if you also like to go and nominate me again, I can win a free date where they will pay for everything. So whoever meets me, God bless him or her, because I go with the flow. So whoever may win a lucky date with me, well, they get to pay for it. So go to WashingtonBlade.com/singles and vote for me. In the meantime, this is the pre-show. I'm here with Moon Newbill. Like money.
New money, new dollars.
New dollars.
Yes.
And she's a wonderful artist, and she's coming aboard. This is in the 2018 season. So tell us about yourself and some of the things you do.
Well, I am a singer, herbalist, spiritual person. I'm a universe, honey. I'm a lot. I am so much.
That's it. You belong to it all. The sun, the moon, the stars.
All of it. But
all of it.
Right now, I just dropped my first single called Come Through Mother.
Oh, Come Through Mother.
Yes.
Come Through Mother. That has many connotations.
Don't I know?
Come Through Mother. Many come through. How did you come up with the name of that song?
Oh, man. I was on the scene in the Washington, D.C. area years ago doing funk rock. And then I dropped out of sight, became a mother. You know, people started, putting a little salt on my name, trying to, and so I was like, when mother's gonna come back. And when she comes through, you better be ready for her. And so it took longer than I expected, but baby, she back.
Bam. So get you some. Come Through Mother. How old is your child?
I have 2 daughters.
You have 2 daughters.
I have 2 daughters. One is just turned 6, and the other one is 10.
Oh my goodness.
Sage and Zena.
Sage and Zena. Mm-hmm. Moon Newbill. Honey, I like all these names. Sage. Well, when she walks into the room, she immediately cleanses the room.
Oh, she does.
Sage. Mm-hmm. I love that.
Yes, indeed.
I love that. Those are powerful names. It seems like you have powerful children with strong personality.
I do. Indeed.
I spent the whole life. You're into Earth, Moon, and I'm into stars and signs. When's your birthday?
I am October 21st.
Libra.
Kind of Libra Scorpio.
Libra Scorpio. That's why I love that vibe. And I'm a Capricorn. We love you, and I love all that vibe. So tell people how they can follow you.
Well, I am on Facebook under Moon Newbill Music. I have my own website, moonnewbillmusic.com. Bandcamp, Moon Newbill. Instagram, Twitter, Moon Newbill. I talk a lot of mess. Y'all need to come and check me out.
Well, you know some of these children, they hard at spelling, so spell that last part, because you got to be very clear with people.
Moon Newbill, MoonNewbill, music.com. And go to iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, Google Play, and download Come Through Mother, because it's available right now for you.
Bam! Get you some. You can get all of that. So download it. Get it today. Music is important. Music is healing. Mm-hmm. Music is universal.
Yes, it is.
And I am so glad that you will be a part of our Diva series this year. And welcoming, coming in and doing what you're doing, and you're a part of the pre-show and welcoming us and everything and doing all of this wonderful thing. So it's all about creating new alliances.
Oh, yes.
In 2018, and forming new kinship and fellowshipping with positive and wonderful artists across the world. And we're just happy to have you here at HRC. So we're going to go out in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bam! I am back. I'm your host, Rayceen Pendarvis, and welcome to our pre-show little interviews. And today is a wonderful day, and I have a wonderful young man who is in our second interview today. His name is Justin Woods, and he's with Whitman-Walker. Today is the National Black HIV and AIDS Awareness Day, and I'm going to turn it over to you, and why it's so important that this day is so important.
I think when we look at HIV racial disparities, they're quite alarming and quite staggering. And actually, National Black HIV AIDS and Awareness Day was founded very much for that reason. 19 years ago, HIV was the #1 killer of men between the ages of 25 and 44, black men that is. And so they realized the need to create more awareness, and that's how the day kind of started. But yet today, we still see those disparities, and the numbers for Black individuals and communities of color at large are still quite staggering. So the need for more awareness and attention to the epidemic and the Black community is important now as it was 19 years ago.
And it's so important. It's very odd that we're here today. And actually, this morning I was reading a report on the numbers and how, especially in large cities, they're on the rise with people of color. Beautiful brown people of color, of all colors actually, but specifically geared towards people of color and men and women as well. And I was reading that report, and it was in 2018. What are we doing as a community? How can we continue to spread awareness? How can we prevent the numbers from rising? What are some of the things that Whitman-Walker is doing?
Definitely. Well, I think that's one of the challenges that we see when you look at how the epidemic has kind of continued, is because we're at a point now where we have a lot of tools in the toolbox in terms of preventing HIV. One of the best things you can do, regularly getting tested. At Whitman-Walker, we have free HIV and STI testing at our location on 14th Street, also in Southeast. Using condoms, is a great resource, something that we know it's been around for a little bit longer, something that hasn't been as successful, but we still encourage it. But PrEP has really definitely been something recently that has kind of come onto the market, and I think in many ways has the potential to be a game changer in terms of preventing HIV. Simply, it's a HIV pill, or excuse me, a pill that you take once a day that can prevent HIV. But I think something that we've seen in looking at numbers is that though PrEP's been on the market for about almost 6 years now, that only 10% of people who are getting PrEP prescriptions are Black people, even though nationally Black people make up 44% of new HIV diagnoses. So we know Black people are being disproportionately impacted by the HIV epidemic, but we're not taking advantage of those resources that are out there. So continuing to try and break down those barriers in terms of access to services, and making sure that Black communities and other communities of color have access to these resources is essential to really bringing down those numbers for Black communities and other communities of color.
That's so important. I was looking at your shirt. Tell us about this shirt. Is this a new ad or something going on with Whitman-Walker, or?
So this is just a personal shirt of mine that I wear to work some days, but really just kind of reminds us how when we look at a lot of health disparities, that they're oftentimes is breaking down on lines of race. And unfortunately, when we look at a lot of health disparities in the U.S., more often than not, Black communities are going to be more impacted by health disparities across the board. So I think it's just a constant reminder to know that until we address some of these larger structural issues in our society, we're not going to see them show up in terms of health outcomes. And I think something that is also quite poignant for me is I think sometimes people say, oh, maybe we're post-racial, or race isn't as big of an issue as it used to be. But when we look at HIV numbers and health numbers, the data is there that you can't lie. When we see, again, Black Americans are 12% of the U.S. population, but make up 44% of new HIV diagnoses. Black bodies aren't any more susceptible to HIV than any other body. So we know that race and racism really impact that. So I think it's a constant, it needs to be a constant reminder to the medical profession and just kind of society at large, if we really care about the health of Black people and people of other colors and other oppressed groups in this country.
So I think it's important as we begin to heal. It is one of those problems that it goes just beyond the physical. Definitely. That we have to begin to look at other aspects such as racism, which is part of the problem: poor education, rural areas, improper diets, mental health, addiction, a whole lot of things that impact people of color at such a larger proportion than any other minorities.
Absolutely.
So I think all of that plays a role. But I was thinking about, at one point, when I think about someone who comes from an era when in the 80s, when HIV was acquired immune deficiency syndrome, and the need to rally was so important. And because of where we were, it's not as educated as we are today, people's fear caused them to be a little more active in certain areas where things that the needs to use condoms were so important. And I see, as I talk to a lot of people now, I see the increasing numbers of young people enjoying barebacking. And how do we do risk reduction around that?
Definitely.
And how do we have honest conversations about that?
Yeah, I think it's important that we kind of identify the ways in which people are having sex and having that conversation. I think because once we understand how people are having sex, we can then talk about what are ways we can reduce exposure when it comes to STIs and HIV in particular. I think PrEP, when it's come in the market, it's been an opportunity for us to eliminate potentially that risk of HIV exposure. But it's critical that we do kind of highlight that is only for one STI, HIV, and that other STIs are equally important in terms of prevention. So making sure that our messaging, I think, is correct, and it's not PrEP alone; it's PrEP and condom use. But I think it definitely starts with having honest and open conversations about the ways in which we are having sex. And then we can have an honest conversation about prevention and seeing what tools do we have available to allow people to have the type of sex they want without transmitting STIs or HIV while doing so.
I think that's so important. I was remembering, I really applaud Whitman-Walker because in the beginning, especially around PrEP, they had all of their ad campaigns were really heavily impacted. I mean, they went on a big, and then on this big push, but what I loved about it, they hit minorities and the trans community and women first. And they made it an issue to those who weren't getting the information that it was out there. And then when they saw the need to explain the importance of using condoms with PrEP, the ad campaigns changed. And they more focused around using them as, I always say, like a Happy Meal. Like a combo, a 1, 2, 3 kind of combo.
Exactly.
I want to, and say I want a small fry, big day. The 1, 2, 3. You have to use this, and and I think that's so important that I applaud Whitman-Walker. I applaud the work that you do, because it's not easy. How long have you been with Whitman-Walker?
I've actually just recently joined last year, but I've definitely been doing HIV work longer.
Okay, so where are you from?
So I grew up in Colorado. I actually got into HIV work while I was a volunteer in the Peace Corps. Wanting to work with queer communities abroad, and unfortunately, other parts of the world, the only way we've acknowledged their existence is, in terms of HIV care and HIV prevention. So I got into HIV work there, then continued that work domestically when I saw, the numbers and rates of, HIV among, particularly gay black men. So as someone who's part of that community, seeing what I can do to prevent HIV for other people that look like me. That's something I continue to do at Whitman-Walker in terms of testing. I'm pay particular attention, to communities of color, particularly communities that look like me, because I do know, based on current rates of transmission, gay black men face a 1 in 2 lifetime risk of being diagnosed with HIV, which is a scary world, I think, to wake up in every day. Every day at Whitman-Walker, we definitely try to continue to meet those communities that unfortunately historically have been underserved, making sure that we're getting the resources to the people that need them most.
And that's important. That's so important. I know you brought something with you.
Yeah, so we just brought up one of our new PrEP ads. We've definitely been putting a lot of focus again towards PrEP and condom use. So we recently are opening a PrEP clinic, which offers more like a concierge service for people using PrEP. So you'll come into Whitman-Walker, have your first appointment with one of our medical providers. But then from then on, you'll be meeting with our PrEP clinic staff, who will have your prescription ready for you when you come in. They'll do your routine HIV and STI testing, so that way it makes the process a little easier and quicker for you. And again, trying to remove some of those barriers to access. So if cost or insurance or anything like that is a concern for you, give us a call. We definitely don't want there to be any barriers to access. Here's just one of our ads. Making sure you go to prepfordc.com or calling our phone number here, 202-939-7690, to get more information about PrEP, our PrEP clinic, and how you can get access to the pill that prevents HIV.
I love it. And how do people follow you on social media?
Yeah, so you can follow us at Whitman-Walker on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Whitman-Walker Health. Search us there, follow us, and let's all prevent HIV together.
I love it. And if you're following us on Twitter, especially Twitter, you can use the hashtag NBHAAD. That's NBHAAD. Hashtag. Get you some.
Having sex? Meet PrEP, the once-a-day pill that prevents HIV. PrEP can be prescribed to almost anyone and is covered by most insurance plans. When taken every day, PrEP can be over 92% effective at preventing HIV. PrEP can be used with other prevention methods like condoms to prevent STIs and pregnancy. Start PrEP today at Whitman-Walker Health. Call 202-939-7690 or visit prepfordc.com for more information.
Bam! I am back with the pre-show's interviews, and this is part 3. I'm your host, Rayceen Pendarvis of the Ask Rayceen Show, and I am here doing our pre-show wrap-ups and having a wonderful time. Also, if you don't know, I'm one of the Washington Blade's most eligible bachelors and singles, actually, bachelor, single, bachelorette, depending on what day of the week it is. So whatever, go to the WashingtonBlade.com/singles and vote for me. I've been nominated in a wonderful group of wonderful bachelorettes and bachelors, but all singles. And if you nominate me, I could win for an all expense paid date. And that would be wonderful. Whoever may get me, God bless them. I hope they'll be ready. So it'll be a great date paid for, so please vote. But in the meantime, I am here with DJ Heat. DJ Heat is making her debut as one of our guest DJs for the Ask Rayceen season 2018, which will be back Wednesday, March 7th with a live audience here at HRC. So follow us on all forms of social media. I know you're doing that now, but follow us more on Twitter, Instagram, etc. So I'm here. DJ Heat, where are you from? And tell us a little bit about you. First, tell us how people can follow you.
Okay, people can follow me. It's real simple. My Instagram and Twitter is DJ Heat DC. Real simple. Facebook, type in the search DJ Heat and you see a person that you like. That's me. Okay, got it on Facebook. All right, cool. Born and raised Washington D.C.
Okay.
From Southeast,
Southeast.
Southeast Benning Road, Hampton East Apartments. I still remember the apartment number 4744 Benning Road, Southeast Apartment 201, area code 20019. I remember the phone number. I don't want to say the phone. Somebody might have the phone.
What high school you went to?
I actually went to McKinley Tech in
Did
Northeast.
you?
Yeah.
I went to McKinley.
Hey, trainer!
Woo!
Yes,
Child, I went
see?
to make class of none of your business.
I was part of that last class when they
before they closed.
Yeah, when they closed.
Second and T.
See?
Get you some.
Listen, the neighborhood has changed.
Oh my God, it's beautiful. Though.
It's
It's a beautiful school.
And to see how the school is now, it's real great, man.
It's amazing. It's the only technological high school in Washington D.C. So speaking of technology. And all of those wonderful things. How did you become a DJ?
I started DJing when I was 13 years old, actually, and I'm 38 now, so you can do the math.
Oh, you look good.
Oh, thank you. So you just do the math. I knew ever since I was a kid that DJing is something that I wanted to do. So when I got my summer job, DC had the summer job program.
SYEP, Summer Youth Employment.
The minute I turned 13, I signed up, and I had my eyes set on this DJ equipment I saw in a magazine, and I called up and said, how much is the total with tax? And they told me, and I had that sitting up. I was like, okay, I'm going to save this money this summer. And it was actually the exact amount minus probably a few dollars.
Wow.
I didn't spend a dime. So the moment I was 13, I got a summer job, saved my DJ equipment, man, and learned and studied. And as I got older, I found a mentor. Look, shout out to DJ RBI, who was my mentor. So yeah.
That's wonderful. And speaking of, what is, if you find yourself, of course, always DJs, music is so universal. And we just had a wonderful artist that was with us earlier, Newbill, who's an incredible singer and songwriter in the D.C. area, who's also from Southeast.
Southeast.
Connect and follow Newbill like money. So, and it's always so important as we connect with artists and genres of music and everything. But as a DJ, how do you find your groove? How do you find your rhythm? Are you comfortable playing everything, or what is your passion when it comes to music?
Yeah, I really am comfortable playing everything because the things, the many hats that I wear, it could be so many different styles that I'm playing. Like before it is, I'm a DJ at 92Q in Baltimore.
Oh,
so
okay.
I was playing.
So you playing house?
All right, yeah, they love it up there, man. They love it. So I was doing the lunchtime mix, which is throwbacks, a lot of 90s, 2000s throwbacks. And then tomorrow night, since I'm the DJ for the Washington Mystics, but that also has led me to do DJing for the Wizards. So I'm going to switch into different DJ mode where, okay, let me get music that's going to work for the Wizards game. And also for DJing for two different artists in the area, Carolyn Malachi, and I also DJ for Maya. So get music straight for like shows that we have coming up.
Which two artists that we love and adore. And we welcome them to the Ask Rayceen show. We like to see our good girlfriend Carolyn. We love Carolyn.
Love Carolyn.
And Carolyn and Maya, their wonderful international star. We welcome you too. So please feel free to stop by anytime.
Exactly. I'll let her know.
Yes, tell them they're welcome on the Ask Rayceen train. Tell them come aboard. We are welcome to have them, please. Because we love, you talk about, I love Carolyn Malachi. I think she's a writer and artist, and I love Maya. Maya is one of those, she's a dancer, she's an actress, she's a writer, she's just one of those triple threats.
Yeah.
And what I love about them, and here is Carolyn Malachi, Grammy nominated.
Grammy nominated.
Yes, so we love her, and it's amazing that you are so connected with all those people. Next time I go to the Wizard game, I take the kids sometimes.
Okay.
My grandchildren and my children. So next time I'm going to look for you up in the booth, honey.
Okay, like,
if I come down on the floor and do a cartwheel, honey, give me a right beat.
Listen, I'll tell them, can we get Rayceen on dance cam,
yes,
please?
honey, and I want you right up there. Right up there, honey. And get you some. I just think it's so amazing. What is so wonderful, especially about music, music is one of those things that binds us all together.
It does, man.
The right song can make everybody feel good. You can play right song and your grandparents, your grandfather, your grandmother, the grandkids, everything. It's so universal.
And that's what I live for, man. I feed off of that energy no matter how many people are in the room. It could be, early only one person, but if I see that one person getting their life, like, okay, I'm doing my job. Or it could be, when we're in a big stadium or something. If I see people, like, it's wonderful because it's like, wow, music does this. And you can't think of really any other bonding experience that really does bring people together.
I think
like
it's
music.
so important. When I think of DJs, I think of you as the ringmaster of the beat. It is you are in control of the circus of music.
Nice.
And DJs, when I think about the wonderful people like Larry Levan, wonderful Frankie Knuckles, all of those, and then the wonderful clubs probably before. Well, now you're old enough to remember the Generator and Chicago and the Last Stop in Baltimore, Odell, the Clubhouse tracks, and all of the city's tracks, the Delta Elite, all of those wonderful, the Nob Hill, all of those great places, the Numbers and DuPont Circle, and all of those wonderful places that we had great dance clubs, which unfortunately in the district, a lot of our dance clubs are closing. Yeah. But as a DJ, you go abroad, and it's blowing up abroad like no tomorrow. Yeah. So I think it's wonderful. And once again, how can people follow you and where can they look for you?
Okay, Instagram and Twitter is at DJ Heat DC. Real simple. That's my Snapchat as well. On Facebook, we just type in stuff on that lovely search box. Type in DJ Heat. A bunch of people gonna come up, but what's gonna happen? You're gonna see this happy face right here, and in the picture I'm like, hey, and I need that because my Facebook got hacked a few months ago, so I'm rebuilding.
Okay, so good. We're going to have to follow you on Facebook and speaking of social media and everything. Here is our wonderful spring flyer, and it's a wonderful listing upcoming events. Yeah. We will be back, the Ask Rayceen Show, Wednesday, March 7th is our season premiere with a live audience. Hey. Everyone is welcome. And you'll be our guest DJ. Yes, bam! DJ Heat will be kicking it off as our guest DJ. And then our mini ball will be April 4th. That is the annual mini ball that we do every year. Yeah. It is, and during that month is Ball Culture History Month.
And I won an award at the last one. Oh, I won the Butch Realness Award.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Get you some. Yes, we have categories for Butch Realness, Femme Queen Realness, Best Dressed Spectator. Come and anybody, if you've never participated, never walked the ball, come.
I never had, and I won.
Yeah, thank you. It's a wonderful safe space. And then we will be doing Wednesday, March the 2nd, our Ask Rayceen activists, advocates, and agitators. That's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful forum. Plus, each month we have the live listening lounge. Wonderful artists. It's our Diva series, along with our burlesque performers. And they'll be shaking it, baking it, and making it work. And also, please remember, if you follow us at Team Rayceen, Ask Rayceen at Gmail, or follow us on all of these here at the top at AskRayceen.com, AskRayceen.com. You can send us an email. You can follow us on YouTube. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and all forms of social media. So, all of those wonderful things. This is amazing, Team Rayceen. Also, please remember that our wonderful sponsors, if you like our flyers have been sponsored by Spunk Lube. It makes you feel the closest to natural. Also, Real Affirmation sponsors our bar. Yes, you can get drunk, but please drive or use an Lyft or an Uber. Please don't get drunk because we'll make sure you get home, but please drink responsible. And also, our wonderful DC Homos is one of our proud sponsors. Our wonderful food, yes, if you come early to the Ask Rayceen show, we do feed you, but the food goes quickly. So also remember, our proud sponsor for our food is AHF Pharmacy. So please come out and support us for these wonderful events. Look for our flyers all throughout. This is our spring flyers, and they're amazing. And the show is free. Please follow us first Wednesdays, March through November, hosted by the Ask Rayceen Show. You can go to Ask Rayceen on Twitter or on any forms of social media. You can follow us on using hashtag Ask Rayceen or AskRayceen.com. We are here free at the HRC Equality Center. We'd like to thank Team Rayceen. We'd like to thank HRC. We'd like to thank Spunk. We'd like to thank AHF. We'd like to thank DC Homos. And we'd like to thank Real Affirmations. But most of all, we'd like to thank you and DJ Heat for being here and tuning in. So we'll be back at 5 with our wonderful, wonderful interviews with the wonderful and talented artist, Michael St. Andres, along with the incredible Councilmember Ward 1, Brianna Nadeau. So please tune in, and we'll see you at 5.